the restaurant or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I heard that it was really, really nice. And then they have like the pool area.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like you're like, as if the pool is kind of like almost going out the window or something.
Yeah, it's like an infinity pool.
Yeah,
like it's one of those like things where you have all this like, it's like nothing but the windows all around. Nothing but the windows
all, you're like 60 stories in the air.
Yeah. We did the night spa there, and you can rent it for like the night.
Yeah, I seen you post some pictures on there.
Yeah, that's good. How long did y'all say?
I think it was 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
It was like a little small one because I had to get right back on.
Okay.
So how was your wedding? We seen the pictures, but how was it?
It was everything. I mean, it was as good as it looked. And there's some. We was at the Penn Museum, so we had it there. We did like a whole week because my birthday was the same week, so I turned 30. So it was like a Libra. It was a strong Libra energy. Okay. Like October 12th was the birthday, and then we did stuff all the week up, and then the wedding was the 16th. Okay. October 16th.
I turned 30 on Sunday.
Oh wow!
Oh my God. No, not yesterday. This coming Sunday.
Oh my God!
I do.
No, it was good.
30.
30. No, it was good though. We had a lot of fun. I still have that. It's still like in my, head. Like you don't get like it doesn't go away. I don't know. It's like you still think about every like I feel like every Saturday I'm in my head like I should be doing something. I could be doing more things right now. It was.
That's good. You had a good time. Everything looked really nice.
That was very nice.
It did.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the B&E. It wasn't E&B. It was B&E, right?
Yes, B&E.
Yeah, I liked everything. The
suits.
The suits.
Oh my God, those
really
suits.
nice.
Listen.
And everybody looked like they had a good time.
Yeah, we wanted to be fun. We didn't do all that pretentious stuff. I know a lot of the straights be doing their weddings and they be having all these like crazy names. We kept it real simple. Like our ceremony was like 15 minutes. It wasn't like a long
Oh, you was on it.
I want a party.
I
want a party. And then the other thing we did too was that one of the things I was really big about with my wedding was that I used to hear stuff about people going and they couldn't do pictures. And they used to, like, they couldn't get a picture with the couple. I used to hear this story. I was like, oh no. I feel like if you coming all the way far and investing and giving me gifts and stuff, we should take pictures. So the way we did it was that right after the ceremony, we had like 15 minutes to ourselves privately, and we just ate, stuffed our face, got our drink on, took a moment to breathe, get ourselves together, and then we went to the cocktail hour, and then we did like a little step and repeat, and we just took pictures with everybody. And then we did speeches, and then we had the reception, and we just had the reception to ourselves. We didn't like do too much greeting once we had the reception.
Right. Was it recorded?
No, we didn't record. We only did photos. I was really big on that.
Okay.
Because I was like, I want to do photos. Like, because I think when you do, I hate wedding videos.
I don't even know if I even pay attention to
I
that.
hate wedding videos. Like, I feel like they're so, some people might do them nice, but I feel like a lot of times they're just so dramatic. And I'm like, I've gone to weddings, no shade, where I've seen people do wedding videos, I'm like, that's not how it went down. Like, no shade to them, but that's not how it went down, though. I was like, oh. It's like,
well, nobody's not going to ever show you the bad part of it.
Right.
No. But it's not that it's saying it's bad, it's just, I just think that sometimes it just seems too fake, and the music and the extra drama. I don't know. I just felt, and I also feel like when you do a video, people put on. Like when they know a camera's around them, there's a different energy versus when you just taking photos sporadically, people seem to be more comfortable. Because when I was at weddings that were videotaped, people were scared to get a little tipsy. They were scared to, sweat. Our wedding, we was like, no, y'all, this is a party. Like, get into it. Like, get your life, So, yeah, I should pop this.
Yeah, go ahead, open it.
It's not going to
okay, you got to
I'll pop many bottles. We got to be good.
I don't want nobody to lose an eye.
No, it's good. Yes. But no, yes, so I'm excited.
And this is sparkling wine, I see.
No, I think champagne.
It's champagne. It's got a blush. Cheers.
Cheers. Congratulations. And then you got like 50-11 jobs. Like, every week it's like, bitch, I am here. I got this. The latest I seen.
But you gotta keep the coins coming in. Okay? Because ain't nobody gonna pay the bills but you.
Right. No, we both are.
This is good.
No, it's just like, yeah. No, book deal. I'm working on my book, The Case for Council Culture. Comes out January 2023. Macmillan Publishers. I didn't do no self-publishing. No shade to people that self-publish. But I was very big on no shade. You know, people say, why you don't write your book? I'm like, I want a deal. I want to get paid. I want distribution. I want it to be able to chart. You know how people do that independent music and they be like, why my stuff not on the charts? Because you have to file it and submit. You know, it's a process. And so when people say, why your music not on the charts? Like, well, it can't really be on the charts because it's not in the it's not in the sound scan. So my book, I wanted to be on the charts, but you gotta have a publisher. You have to do all that kind of stuff. So
it's like to get on the New York Times.
And then you gotta have a team. So I got a publicist and people that work with me on it and everything. And it takes a collective effort. Like what people don't tell people is that the politics of getting a book done is more than just writing it. Like writing it to me has felt like the easiest part. It's all the other stuff. Like you got to work with your agent, you got to work with the publisher, you got to work with the editor, you got to work with everybody to make sure you pick out the cover, which cover you're gonna use, because apparently colors and texts will make you want to buy a book more than another book. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but literally cover you judge a book like the books are being designed like T-shirts now. You look at a book, you're like, oh, that book look good, I want to buy it. There's all kind of things that you have to consider when you're doing a book outside of just writing it. So I wasn't prepared for that aspect of it, but it's fine.
Now you say it's called The Case for Cancel
The Case
Culture?
for Cancel Culture, yes.
Now are you for or against?
Well, my book, I argue that it's not even a for or against situation, to be honest. It's kind of something that we're all kind of doing, but too many people have been politicizing it one way. It's kind of like when people say they're not with the mess. Everybody's with the mess. But how people like, oh, I'm not messy. No, everybody's messy. Oh, I'm not a nosy type person. No, everybody's nosy. I feel like with cancel culture, everybody's canceling. Everybody's in that.
Can we do a big thing? Can I do something real quick? Can I blow that out? Because it's messing with my eyes.
Oh, it's about to go out anyway.
Well, you got his say?
Because I keep sitting here like, boy,
yes.
my eyes.
Oh my God.
Listen, he is a deep
it's done. It's done.
No, him. Okay, what is that? What's the problem?
It's just
Just throw the hell out.
Oh, I know.
I'm sitting here like, wow, this smoke is
out
out
of train. I know.
I'm
I
sorry.
was like, listen.
Well, it's done.
I was thinking, well, bless you.
Yeah, it's done. It's over with. So you're saying that, okay, so you're saying we all messy.
Well, can I just, all right, so, this is good, because, Sunny Hostin on The View, she says, she doesn't call it cancel culture, she calls it accountability culture.
Okay.
Where a lot of people call it cancel culture because they are being held accountable for the stuff that they say and do.
Right.
And I can agree to that to an extent. I do think that sometimes some people can go a little overboard with, oh, they should be canceled. No, they should just be held accountable, and it doesn't necessarily mean they have to be canceled.
Not lose their career or lose their
I don't necessarily even think that.
Do.
Because you know what? I'm going to just say this. I'm going to use Kevin Hart as an example. Remember a few years ago when he was supposed to host the Oscars? And it came out, all those old tweets about him, making homophobic statements. Kevin Hart wasn't necessarily canceled. He was just held accountable for those comments.
Was really
and he lost the Oscar gig. He lost that gig. But after that, after a few months or whatever, he went back to being Kevin Hart, whereas though people don't even talk about that.
Kevin Hart keeps trying to tell y'all he was canceled, and I'm just.
But he wasn't.
No, he's not. How did he get canceled on multi-million-dollar contracts and continual movies and success? Like he was never. He keeps acting like he was this warrior, like he rose from something because somebody told your ass to sit down or to stop bothering people. So all of a sudden,
all you had to do was apologize, and then you could get the gig.
And he didn't want to.
He didn't want to.
He chose violence.
He later apologized.
He later apologized. Right, but for instance, somebody who I think was canceled was what's her name? Chrisette Michelle.
Yes.
When she performed at the inauguration.
I talk about her.
You know what I mean?
I talk about her.
You can't compare her and Kevin Hart.
No.
She was canceled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart wasn't canceled.
And Kanye definitely wasn't canceled.
And Kanye wasn't canceled either. No.
To the White House.
So in my book, I talk about the different ways that cancel changes based on who you are. If you're a man, a woman, black, white, gay, young, established, not as established, got more money. Like cancel culture is like everything. There is, different types of scenarios and situations that can change up based on certain things. You know what I mean? Like R. Kelly, for example. Like it took 20 years for R. Kelly to get the boot. But some of these other people, it's not taking this long. I mean, it just depends on the mood, the time. It's all about time, power, who you are. Like Bill Cosby's a different type of power celebrity compared to. I mean, there's like comedians who said all kind of homophobic stuff, but then Lil Baby specifically got targeted heavier. But that's also because Lil Baby didn't have that much clout coming in compared to rappers like Eminem who've been around.
That. It's the videos he made afterwards, where it was like, "Who is your publicist?"
Like, cause he's just
talking. My gay fans don't have HIV. Only the best faggots got HIV. Like, what kind of stuff is that?
It was just, how do you know? You know, they say stuff.
No, but he's telling himself.
Yeah, like
he's telling himself. Like the Baby reminds me of that boy in high school.
Yes,
that was like the class clown. They used to talk stuff,
yeah,
but then privately be wanting to go up to
and
you.
Guess what?
I've had many little. Yes, we know them. We know them. We know those boys.
Basketball team and everything.
Oh yeah, we know those boys, and they like to play, and they would play with you in the girl's face. The girl would be so oblivious. I'd be like, you don't understand what's happening right now. We're having the whole thing.
We're having the whole thing, and you're just like, and you don't even get it. That's why I be trying to say to some of these women, like, listen, don't think that I'm just saying this just to say what I'm saying. Right. It's absolutely true. I know your baby father. I know him very well,
especially in Philly.
Oh. See? Sorry. They're going somewhere else.
I'm sorry, but if Philly is...
See, he don't know the baby.
It's really bad. It's really bad in Philly.
It's bad. To the point that... It's so bad, Ernest, to the point that...
It's so good.
It's so bad, Ernest, to the point that you can go, like... I don't know. You can go to a place like King of Prussia Mall.
I haven't been here.
And... you walk in the door, and by the time you hit, like... Because, you know, they're all in Gucci and all that stuff... You walk past the long line and you be like, wow, she's standing there with her man, our man. And then when you see them, they look and then they go, and then later on in the day, oh, I saw you at the mall, why you didn't speak? What you mean why I speak?
Listen.
Like, come on. These women.
It's this, you know, I think what I've been at many years ago, I wrote a piece for Huffington Post that said that it was time to do away with download, dues, and trade as a New Year's resolution. And this was many years ago.
I don't think so. I like them.
I think,
yeah, you're married, so.
Well, no, I'm not saying you're trying, no, let me say this. I think I have had friends who was like, you know, I want to be with somebody. Why am I not with somebody? And I say because you keep messing with trade.
Yeah, because they can't.
You can't.
That's
what I'm saying. You can't do both.
Yeah. But see,
that's taking a lot of time and energy. Now, I'm serious. That's taking a lot of time and energy.
It does. But see, the difference between me and that person is, and I told Kevin this recently. I have no desire to be in any relationship right now whatsoever.
Okay.
I like the fun.
You said right now?
Right now.
Okay.
I like the fun that I'm having.
Okay.
You know, I really do. So if that means that having fun, it's no longer going to be fun. But right now, I'm about to be 30, so it's going to. I'm so young. Listen. So you know, it's fun for me right now. So if that fun entails with me sleeping with your man because you're not doing. Look at.
I'm sorry.
Every bit.
No, but that's the thing, though. And let me say this. I don't know. I just felt like. With my confidence, I just feel like when I was out there in them streets, my confidence, like it's just, you just be, you know, I guess if you do it so much, you become trade bait. I felt like I was definitely trade bait at one point in my early years. That like I was the type they liked because I had my own money, I had my own stuff going on.
It's just men for me.
I have my own stuff going on. No, but I have my own stuff going on. They like that. Trade like you when you have your own job, you have your own shit.
Yeah.
They don't want you being clingy. And so they love me because I was never pressed. Because I knew what it was. Right. But it still felt some type of way that in your mind you knew before you even, no matter what you did, it was never going to end and go anywhere. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you knew that, okay, I was talking to this person, and what if I was really starting to feel them and there was a connection? You knew that no matter whatever happened, it was never going to go.
You got to learn how to... See, it reminds me of the conversation I was just having. Like, some people can have sex and it don't mean anything. Right. But some people cannot detach their heart from their private part.
It's hard. Mm-hmm. It was hard for me. That's why, like, now I just love that I could just be like, you know, I just love... No, I just feel like I don't have to be denying my feelings. Because I was like that. I was like,
but see, I know what it entails when you're.
I do everything with excellence.
Yeah,
I gotta put my all into it.
Right. But see, for me, when I'm dealing with certain people, I don't go into it with the expectation of, I don't want to get my. Like, that's why I said I love to continue.
You gotta be one and done with trade. You can't have a pattern.
If you don't hear from them for another 2 months, you gotta be okay with that, because that's just the name of the game. That's not the I'm waiting for the phone. You know, yeah. Because some people be thinking like, oh God, and we just fucked for 2 days and then I ain't hear from them in 2 weeks. Well, that's the name of the game. They got a whole baby mama at home. What you think they're gonna
why they don't gotta have it? Well, see, you be with the ones with the baby mamas. See, I just like the ones. I remember back in the day that just kind of was on the. They had a trap. But they didn't have a kid.
Listen,
they be like the kid, because I feel like that's messy.
That don't have nothing to do with me.
Do they ever say? Have you ever been accosted by said baby mama?
No,
never had that.
No, you know why? Because I know how to play the game. I know how it's done. I have never, in all of my years doing what I'm doing, had anybody call my phone and say, "Who's the?" Don't do that. Don't do that.
I had a situation.
Because the minute somebody said, "Oh, who is this?" I'm not even answering no questions.
See, I had that effect where, when I was dealing with Trey many years ago, they would get a little bit hung up on me, because they were seeing what I was doing, what I had going on. So it's like, we can hang out, because I was a different type of guy. That gay where it's like, oh, everybody's cool with him. So we can be cool in public. And then, of course, the girls started looking and being like, y'all a little too cool. And then, the girls start coming and I'm like, oh, wait. You were supposed to just be a close friend. No.
People always got something to say.
That's true. And, when it got to that point, I was like, you got to make a decision. He's like, oh, I'm not trying to do all that. Well, that's true. Well, then,
Well,
I gotta give him something else.
See, with me, and I can kind of relate, because with me, and I think Kevin can attest to this too. I am more of I'm outspoken. So if I am like that with a lot of the trades, people just look at it like, well, that's Mikkel. He just is talking to everybody.
Right, he's popular.
Just talk to everybody.
Listen. I'm telling you, there are a lot of y'all. There's a new era. I was like, this before I even came around, where it's the clout chasing trade.
Yes. Ooh, Ernest.
It's the clout chasing. No, it's the clout chasing trade. They rappers.
Yes, they are.
They aspiring models and crap. And they really want to hang out with us.
And they want to hang out with your crew. That's right.
Listen, I had a friend.
And they'll do anything.
They will. They will. They will.
Yes, they will.
That's a different type of energy.
Oh, you know so and so. Oh,
nah.
Jesus, this is not the video. This ain't the video for this conversation.
It can be. I'm in a different clout
chasing.
There are. I have friends who tell me this. I say, that's a different world. Because when I was in my era, there wasn't that. Now they looking at their followers. They want to. I got some of them who try to be friends with my other gay friends because they know who I am, and then they want to hang out with me and get good with me. And I'm looking like, oh, so we all in this mix, and you trying to get in the mix.
Get in where you fit.
That's right. They're like, oh, I hear you a writer. Like now I write for Rolling Stone. They're like, oh, I got this mixtape I've been trying to put out to the press. I'm like, okay.
And they want to hold on to that. They want to hold on to that relationship that they know you because they know that of who you know or who knows you.
Listen, you know where they take place? At the barbershop.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been in the barbershop in so long.
No.
I haven't. I'm going back because I'm starting to let my beard grow back. So
I go. I try to go I go like twice a week. And
see,
then
I don't
special
really
occasions
find. I don't find people really in the barbershop. But for me, it's more so social media. Like for me, you hit the nail on the head. They'll be like, "Oh, you got all these followers," because a lot of them, of course, the trade they don't know anything about the Skorpion Show. So they're like, "Well, why you got all these followers? You got all these blue checks following you.
That's right.
Comments. So who are you?" Then I have to explain. Don't tell them too much, but tell them just enough. And they go, "Oh, okay."
So that's how you luring them. You using this account. I got my blue check when I was off the market, so I never got to abuse it for those type of things.
I don't even have a blue check, and they treat me
no,
like
they see that. No, they see that. They see that traffic. They see that engagement.
Yep. They see every time I post. Like, oh my God, you got hundreds of likes, and all these people commenting. Like, who the hell are you?
They want that.
Like, what do you? And they want that, and they and that's why I tell people
we are valuable. We are valuable right now.
When I see these guys,
they value. Listen, we are the gays. We are of value right now. Okay, Lil Nas X to help amplify the value margin. And they want to be on.
People make fun of
now they allies.
They make fun of women when they say, all she wants is $48, and I say to myself, well, some of these guys just be wanting $40
and accept the pass,
bitch.
Accept the pass,
and accept the pass.
That's right. The Uber Eats delivery.
That's why I be like,
my friend said they out here asking for Uber Eats. I said, you're Ubering dudes to the house.
Didn't you meet somebody begging on the sub?
You know, again, back in the day, you gotta have a septic talk.
I just don't like nobody asking.
Now you can Uber somebody to come back.
For money, yeah.
Don't
do
ask
that.
me for money. No, because that's a big turn off.
Yeah.
You know, that's right.
Yeah. And if you do, you're gonna get on your knees for it.
I just feel like
people are bold now.
You come into the situation what you have.
They want you to pay them that.
No. Well, now people are sex workers. Because sex work, they're sex workers on the low.
Yes, they are, and the thing about it is, social media has made that sex life. Look at everybody has an OnlyFans now. I just hit up one of my followers yesterday because I'm like, I didn't know you had an OnlyFans, and he was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, because he promoted the link in his stories, and I'm like, you got OnlyFans too? I'm not mad at
hold on, but you know what? There is one person in Philly, I will not name their name, but they are like, well, see, if I describe one aspect that people gonna know, and it's gonna be too much. But they are an aspiring artist that travels back and forth between one major populous city and another populous city. Well, Philadelphia and another city.
Do I know this artist?
Yeah, y'all both probably know.
That camera definitely ain't picking up the sound.
Say the name. I think I have to see his face.
Yeah, I'll show you on Instagram. I will share Instagram. I'll show you Instagram. Okay. But long story short, like they, I've covered them, and yes, I covered them and everything like that. And then, I was like, okay, let me follow a music career, and that's kind of their music career has been kind of, it's interesting. But then they decided that they have an account, and they were like, oh, I do some other things or whatever like that. And
some other things, like they sell.
They was saying that, like they was saying they would do stuff, and they got a blue check. And
yeah, I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, you have. You
go to a regular picture, yeah.
What?
Make sure the sound is on.
Yeah, right. But they've been in Philly. They're like big in Philly.
Yeah.
You never seen them before?
I don't recognize them.
Okay, well your followers definitely know who they is.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely do. We got a lot of mutual
Let me
friends.
see if I even follow them.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I follow him, but so what he be trying to do? Something strange or change?
Well,
he already does. You said
he does a lot of he tells people that he's got all these followers, but I started looking at who the followers were, and the followers was looking sus. When you start getting certain types of followers, that's also when I tell people too, like guys who are trade. I say if you try to build a low, you got too many mutual followers of mine that are gay, and that is a red flag for me. So that lets me know.
That's what I've been trying to put some of my lady friends on because they don't get it. They say, "Well, how do I know on social media that a guy I go to followers?
You got
if he's following too many."
I mean, unless you are ally, but a lot of them are not
really openly gay guys.
Well, no, that's the thing, and I just be like, I'm not saying you can't be an ally, but if you're trying to act like you're not,
right, then that's a red flag.
That's the issue. That's
and you're absolutely right. It's not that you can't, but if you're trying to act like you're not in its own orbit, and that's not what you're quote unquote get into, then that's when it becomes suspicious. That's when it becomes suspicious. Now, if I know that you're somebody who's cool with everybody, it doesn't matter. Then I don't really. But if I know that you're somebody that is constantly saying something like a little Boosie, but yet I go to your followers and you're following about 20 openly, and it's like, well, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Yeah. Well, we got to get back on track because we got to get to the topics.
Right. Sorry.
Over the weekend.
That was an important topic.
Yes, it was. And I'm sure we'll go right back to it. Because Chris Cuomo over the weekend
Oh, God.
was fired by CNN.
Finally.
Yeah, no. I mean, at first I was like, okay, now, really CNN? Y'all knew he was helping his brother from the beginning. Like, y'all knew it. Then when the story broke, y'all all had to act stupid about it. Now,
yes,
all of a sudden, we find out that there's some credible, maybe sexual allegations against
him.
Chris Cuomo and a former colleague from CNN. And CNN was like, oh, bitch, now we really got to let you go. But the thing is, I want to know who it is making these allegations and why he's going to be let go. Like, I want to know more. Like, I just don't feel satisfied with, okay,
you don't feel satisfied? You don't feel satisfied?
No. First of all, I think a lot of people in TV are messy. I feel like, oh, now all it takes is a sexual allegation for you to get fired from anything. When you look at what's on Fox News versus what these anchors do, or MSNBC and CNN, to me, I'm like, how do they still have a job with the things that they say?
Let's back up. Chris Cuomo has had accusations
from
before
like
that time, many
with
years ago, ABC.
Yeah.
So is that the first time? The second time,
But can we wait? Now listen, we've all probably made somebody feel some type of way. We probably, because I used to touch people all the time.
That's so crazy that you say that, because I thought about, let me just say this real quick, and I have to get this off my chest, because last night I thought about that, and I thought about it after you hit me up on Facebook. I thought about it, and I said, you know what, almost every guy that I know of, especially particularly when we were younger in high school, when it came to girls in high school, a lot of guys would do inappropriate and say inappropriate things. Some guys would run and smack a girl's butt. Now, a lot of the girls would laugh it off or whatever, and some girls would, get it. But that was not something that was, growing up for me, looked at as being inappropriate. It was just, this is what a lot of guys did.
Boys will be boys.
That's what it was being looked at. Boys will be boys. And then I said to myself, imagine if now, the age that we're at, if a lot of those girls that we did that to when we were younger, then called sexual harassment, a lot of people would be...
Nobody would have nothing.
Everything. And I said, wow, then it started making me think, were any of these women okay with what was going on, and now all of a sudden, because they couldn't get anything out of it, now they're yelling, sexual harassment? Because it's like, now all of a sudden after his brother, now it's him. Yeah, what's going on?
Because y'all had all
Donald
these
Trump
years
was
to get
president
Cuomo.
for 4 years.
When Me Too was going on, they had all that time to get him. So what do you know that we don't know?
A lot of things, clearly.
Tell us at least one thing.
I think the first thing is that it is not going down like the way that people are making it. It's not this massive witch hunt. I think what people have to understand is that there is, I think, in some ways, a difference between rape and sexual assault and then sexual harassment. Now, you're not hearing stories about a situation when you're in high school and you stop the girl's butt one time or something. Those examples you're giving are so light, and they're not even the examples that are being rendered now. Because notice you're talking about what you did in high school. If you I was just making.
No,
I was making
an
example. But I'm just saying, let's stay with that example. You're talking about people in high school. It's a difference because everybody in high school and middle school made mistakes, whatever, and everybody had to learn, right? You got a suspension, you got time out, you got told stop doing that. All that was addressed then. When you become an adult and you in your 30s and your 40s, and you still doing shit you did when you was twice your age years ago, when you was 17, what's up with that? And my whole thing is these men be married. These are men who got children of their own. These men do crazy sensitivity training. Like, y'all forgot y'all job that y'all had to sign consent forms and y'all had trainings and stuff. Like, you got all of this stuff before you start that job. So when you a man of that kind of power in a high profile position, there's no way that you can tell me, oh, you didn't know. Because I will tell you that it's never, in these cases, a one-time situation.
Oh, of course not.
It's always multiple times. And I learned with a lot of the women I'm friends with, seeing some of the things I saw, hearing the things I heard as a gay man, hearing what they was experiencing. But even as a gay man, getting sexually harassed out here by men in ways that wasn't physical, but even overt by straight men, quote unquote, that felt like they had to say something, making jokes. I'm like, yo, why you saying this to me? So funny how they always say stuff like, with us, they say, oh, we be put in their face, but we could be minding our own business, and they will come with the first remark or comment or joke, and you be like, where did that come from? Like they had that conversation on the show Harlem. Everybody saying it wasn't true that the girls at the barbershop and the guy.
I ain't get too far in the scene.
I don't want to get into the show. Well, there was that thing on social where there was a reference to the barbershop where she was there, and the guy was talking hypersexual in the shop, and everybody said that don't happen at barbershops. So I was like, nah, I've been places where men be having all kind of, and it's very homoerotic sometimes because you be like, I'm gay. You right over here. Why are you sitting up here talking about your whole sexual business? Like, it's too much going on in the shop, and that stuff
nobody does that anymore.
That's they do.
Nobody don't.
Let me tell you something. High school. Right there, like, keep my hand right there.
No, I don't keep my hand right there. I'm gonna be on my phone while you cut my hair, scrolling through all types of nasty shit. That's what the level I'm on.
Too much
See if you gonna respond.
But no, I say all this to say that too much of this stuff happens, and everybody, when they hear these stories, start to project about their experience of what ifs or scenarios. Ain't no what if and no scenarios. I would never be in a situation in this age, in my professional career at this level, in some shit like that.
Well, that's the question. How do we know that these women? Well, and I'm not. Please don't think for one second that I'm just excusing his behavior. But can we honestly say that a man of his caliber and his brother's caliber would constantly keep doing this to women that did not agree with what they were doing? There has to be somebody along the lines that was going along with it. And then you think that every woman that they did said, "Oh no."
It don't have to. But it don't have to be every woman. If it was one woman, and you know, I don't even. No, hold on. It don't even have to be one woman. It could be one. It could be. Hold on. It could be. It doesn't matter if it's every woman. I think when you try to create these extremes, you then downplay what's really happening.
No, I'm not downplaying.
If it's one woman, it's wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong.
And the reality is that that's all it is.
But see, my mind. But hold on. But let's pause.
How many
people do y'all know in y'all situation that there are pastors that we know, politicians we know, other men we know who don't have that kind of power that abuse it? You got people out here who you say, well, would anybody believe it? Hold on, you got people out here who are sexually abusing nieces and nephews and things, and even their family don't believe it. You say, why they don't come out and testify? Because what are the consequences? They could lose their job, they could lose the support of their family, they cannot be believed, they could be pariahed, and then look what happens when they do come forward. It's people out here having conversations like, well, still don't believe them. So it's like, was there ever a time where whether you told it in 1 month or 1 week or 1 day that you'll be believed?
You know when Me Too was hot and heavy, I mean, they was getting the anchors out of here.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody say, let's get Chris Cuomo too.
Because
nobody never said anything.
But I think some of those situations
maybe they swept under the rug.
Why does it? Maybe he do. I mean, well, that's what he's been accused of. Cuomo, the brother, of getting information.
Well, he's accused.
He's got several. Chris Cuomo's being accused for sexual harassment on his own end.
Right.
Then he's also being investigated about trying to cover up stuff for his brother. Don't y'all think that they in the same? Like that's the
now
birds of feather.
Now see, that's what I was saying to you yesterday on Facebook. The post that I posted on Facebook was in regards to him trying to get information.
Oh, that's the other investigation. Okay,
not about him.
Oh, that's the other situation.
Yeah, because I mean, because let's be honest.
He got all these investigations. No, that's all these investigations, but y'all question these girls.
No, that's not what I'm. No. My post on Facebook had nothing to do with questioning the victims.
Okay,
it had everything to do with that is his brother. And so therefore, whether his brother is right or wrong, he's going to try to do whatever he can to make sure, to investigate those who are accusing his brother. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not chastising his brother behind closed doors, because I don't expect anybody to go in on their family member in the public when the whole world is kicking their brother in the back in the first place.
Because not even Nicki Minaj.
Right, she didn't do. Hillary Clinton didn't do it to Bill Clinton when he cheated on her. She handled him behind closed doors.
Well, there's a difference. She didn't get involved with Monica. She didn't go out there calling the press and tell him to get after Monica. But
she didn't believe Monica.
Well, she didn't have to.
Well, I mean, why not? But she was a woman.
But that's her business, though.
And she already knew how her husband was.
But that's not the issue. Y'all conflating two things. You can be in support of something. You can be in support of somebody without interrogating in case of losing your integrity in the process. So if Nikki don't want to believe those victims on her own accord by herself in her business, that's her prerogative. Where she went wrong with other situations, including with her husband, was when she started to harass and go after that woman. Mm-hmm. Like, that's stuff that you don't need. That's crossing the line. Mm-hmm. Cuomo is a journalist, a professional journalist. He should have never been compromising his journalistic integrity.
No, he shouldn't have.
To be getting involved in something that's a conflict of interest.
That is, but
so at the end of the day, to me, it's if he doesn't want to believe them on his own time, that's his business. Right. But what you're not gonna do is get involved in ways that can mislead the public to believe something. You gotta let that process.
No. But see, he was professional. He wasn't.
But he was behind the scenes.
But that's what anybody would do behind the scenes.
No.
You wouldn't do that for your brother behind the scenes?
No.
Oh, I would. I'm sorry.
No, I would not.
I'm going over hell and high water for my sister.
Let me say this: if I believed my brother was innocent, I shouldn't have to interfere.
Yeah, but
in that kind of way.
It's not even.
Why would you compromise your bag? And why would you compromise your particular work?
Because that's his brother.
For somebody in a situation that you believe he's innocent.
Let me tell
Unless you thought he did it. Now, if you thought he thought his brother did it.
Can I tell you?
He thought his brother did it.
I want to tell y'all a quick story. Let me tell y'all a quick story.
He knew his brother did it.
A quick story.
Because he was doing it.
Recently, and this has nothing to do with sexual harassment.
You see, Don Lemon got his own case.
But that's not legitimate.
Listen, recently, I had a situation. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
He didn't do it.
That's somebody paying for something smelling.
Bitch, y'all know he didn't do that. And let me tell you why. Because y'all gotta look into the dude.
Who said that? Somebody said that about him?
That guy accused him of. But that wasn't true. That's not true.
It doesn't sound true.
The guy who did it is a man who was obsessed with him, that was harassing him multiple times. There's pictures of this man standing outside of Don Lemon's house, making lemon drops to get his attention, like drinks with his name in it. He was trying to signal him many times, and Don wasn't paying him the time nor the day. I've met Don in person.
It's a
white man who is straight, and he's a conservative that's been trolling Don, been on the internet going at CNN for a while. So he had an agenda and a vendetta, and he took advantage of that to come after him. So that's
what's her name?
There's a lot of people who have agendas and vendettas.
What's her name? Says one of the accuser on her show. And Don Lemon lawyer went right after her. What's her name? Because she's so racist now. Megan, what's her fucking
Kelly?
Megan Kelly.
I've been over Megan Kelly.
I knew she was.
Megan had the accuser on her show, and then they brought him on Walter's World or whatever that Fox show, and had him there as a guest. I said, y'all know this man is This man does not have any credibility. Even Daily Mail was not even giving
the one who I didn't even know the story about Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But why would Don Lemon stick his hands in his
Don Lemon offered to pay him off to shut him up.
Yeah, he just wanted to get rid of him.
No. You know how I feel about the paying off stuff.
Well, see, Michael.
If you paying somebody off, there's a slight chance of guilt.
I don't think so.
Because I'm not paying
nobody off. When Don got the kind of money where I guess he thought giving this man $5,000 shut up.
No. You can take that $5,000. He can take that $5,000 and give it to me.
No, $500,000.
I'm sorry. You can take that $500,000 and give it to me, bitch. You giving it to him?
$500,000. But see, you know why? Because he's married to a white man.
Well, yeah.
Oh, he got married.
Yeah, Don Lemon is married to a white man.
I thought he was engaged. I didn't know he got married.
No, they did get married, right?
Yeah, either he's married or engaged, but you know.
That's why I asked in the beginning, was that guy accusing him white or black?
He's
white. Because he's not attracted to black men.
Huh? I looked at his husband and this guy. They in the same.
Oh, so they kind of. So it's not too far.
I don't think he did that.
Why would he stick his hands in his pants and tell somebody to smell? That is disgusting.
That doesn't sound like Don Lemon.
Yeah, that sounds like nobody.
No. Well, Cuomo. Cigars, you know.
We do all kinds of stuff.
Some guy did that to this girl at one of my friends in high school. I just thought about that. Yes, and she said it stunk so bad.
Oh,
but he looked like
people do these things.
Yeah, but that's disgusting.
Okay.
Don't tell me to smell your hands after you pulled them out of your pants. No. God.
He probably was ballsy. I love ballsy.
Some people smell good, but no, I don't want all day.
You like what?
No, I said
it's a product called Ballsy I use. That's like
I thought you said you.
I'm like,
no, it's a product called Ballsy.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to smell like
Dale
balls. Like,
no. I don't understand why he would do that.
Well, maybe maybe that's his thing. He's kinky.
Because never mind. I don't know, but I
like that guy who like that used to be on Whistler make them videos, and he liked that outside smell.
Who was this? Is this okay. Well, Chris Cuomo is fired, and he's gonna stay that way.
He's fired, and he's gonna take a break. But I think one of these networks is gonna get a break.
Like Brian,
he might not be on a network. He might be online.
I said that when he put on Twitter his statement. That statement was corny, but he kept half of the statement was about, my show ends on the #1 show on prime time.
For CNN.
So he wanted everybody to know that he had a top show.
Well, he did.
He did.
No, but I didn't watch it.
I didn't hear from his show.
No, but he wanted people to know in a way to be like, hire me.
Yeah, listen.
All I'm gonna say is that I'm so tired of these white men getting second chances media. As a journalist, it's exhausting. Jeffrey Toobin was on Zoom.
Yeah, he jerked off. But
got a job again. They kept him. Yeah. Brian Williams with his plagiarism and all the lie. That crazy lie about him on a helicopter. That was wild.
See, this
got a second chance. So Cuomo. I think that if Cuomo if it was not about the sexual harassment stuff that came out, he probably would have got second. They would say, well, it was about his brother, and he's trying to make it that way. But listen, CNN tried to do everything I believe in their power not to fire him.
They could have let him go.
They know he is star.
I did not, but see, I don't agree.
I
didn't agree that they brought Jeffrey Toobin back. I felt like he
knew what he was doing.
Knew exactly what he was doing.
Can you imagine? He shouldn't have got his job back.
He shouldn't have got his job back.
A black man did that.
Yeah, because that's basically you're in a meeting with a bunch of people and you're just jerking off. Like that's what you were doing.
That's crazy.
Like come on. He shouldn't have got his job back, and I don't know who at CNN thought that would be an okay thing to give him his job back. And I seen him recently on there talking.
Are we boycotting? Are we boycotting now? Like there was boycotting.
Well, I haven't watched CNN in a long time because I just feel like.
I watch it.
I watch Donald.
When they cut episodes from 2 hours to 1 hour, I stopped watching because I like the end.
I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing it a little bit.
They
need to put better.
Let me tell you,
they do. No, they do. They really do.
These past couple months, I find myself not watching as much as I used to because I'm really fed up with the Democrats right now.
Yeah, me too.
And
always
they are so afraid to use their power. Like if the Republicans are in power and Mitch McConnell did this thing. Like, wherever he say go, Democrats are scared to do that.
Crazy thing is that Republicans, no matter what, even when they lose or win, they always seem to be having that energy. Yeah. They keep that energy no matter what's happening. They be losing, and they still be pushing.
And they don't.
I don't know. But the issue is with Democrats though is that they have an identity crisis right now. They don't want to know. They don't. Their party is splintered in like this extreme progressive. Hyper liberal sense, and then you got these moderates who are now becoming old Republicans that we could tolerate because now the Republicans that went completely, right. So now the moderate Democrats are now basically likable Republicans, like they like Susan Collins types, and then the other ones are just on the far extreme. There's like no middle ground now. So I feel like. The Democrats don't have an identity right now.
They don't.
And the president they have is just not the president that anchors them. Like, Obama, he had that kind of middle centrist energy where it's like, okay, if you was progressive, he's like, you know what, I ain't going to come for him because he is reasonable. Right. And then you got the ones that were like, okay, he got a little flavor, but he a little old school too. Biden is just so... And what is Kamala doing?
Nothing. And you know what? And somebody said to me, "Well, you did," and I said, "Yeah, I did."
Kamala doing?
And I was cheering for them because I wanted anybody in there but Trump. We didn't need another.
No, I was okay with that decision. I mean, not okay. Well, I was never a Kamala fan. Because when it rains, it's raining.
It is. I thought that was
because listen, it's raining down on DC.
Well, I will say this. Can I say this? I know for a fact. Joe Biden better not run for no second term because I'm not voting for him.
He's not.
He said he is.
Yeah, he did. But he better
but
not.
But all we know is that Kamala ain't about to do it.
Yeah.
That popularity rate.
Yeah. He better not.
They're looking at this. They try to put it in the Supreme Court.
He better not.
They say they're gonna try to put that.
That's what she needs to do. If he do run the second term, she needs to be out of there and needs to put her on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Because she don't.
But when you're vice
term
president, you don't really make that much noise anyway. But she could be making a whole lot.
Biden made more. I felt like Biden made more noise when he was vice president.
He sure
from
did.
Obama.
He sure
than
did.
he did if he been doing his president.
That's why everybody was calling him Uncle Joe.
Yeah,
he was
out there doing. He did a lot of good stuff when he was vice president.
And he was cussing everybody out left and right.
To me, he was like an ideal vice president. Like when you looked at him, he was like, okay, see, that's the president's vice president. Got a little bit of swagger.
He's the older brother
yeah.
to the younger Obama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gonna fight the battles that Obama is not necessarily gonna fight because Obama wants to be.
We haven't had a good vice president in our war.
Said a slip of the tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now Biden is president, and it's like he's showing his age. He's old. He's very old. That's why I said, we don't need an 83-year-old president.
So will we be okay if a Republican won in 2024?
No, I wouldn't be okay with that. We could find other Democrats to take over from Biden. They just need to come about. We got until 2024. Somebody can come out.
Elizabeth Warren, throw her back up there.
You know what would be a good what's the name too? How about somebody like Gavin Newsom from California? He could run too.
We don't want no Beto O'Rourke.
No.
Go ahead and be governor of Texas.
No, we don't.
He ran for governor of Texas. I'm here for it. You know, the Stacey Abrams conversation was happening, but now she wants to go governor. You know who would be fun, but she shouldn't be president, but maybe a vice president? That Leticia over there in New York.
Letitia Johnson?
Letitia James.
James.
Or they call it Tish.
Yeah.
I've been crazy for her all year. She's my person in here. Unspoken hero. She running for governor right now. She's trying to take Cuomo's seat.
Wait, Letitia James is running for governor?
New York governor.
She just became the attorney general.
In a couple of years, not too much, but she ran for governor and she.
But what are they doing with Trump? Like,
she went from Trump to Cuomo and got the Cuomo.
They're gonna get into it. But I have faith in Trish. Trish is not disappointed. She's the one that's getting me some level.
Tish, not Trish.
Well, Tish. She's giving me something though. She giving me something to hold on to.
Yeah,
she running for New York governor.
Yeah, because that's what once they got Cuomo out
next year.
Yeah.
That was the plan all along.
Yeah, next year.
That was not a conspiracy theorist.
But
hold on. Hold on. Pause. The issue with Cuomo was that Cuomo got too cocky. During the pandemic, he was doing the most. He was all America's governor, all that crap. And he was just doing too much. And then when that stuff started coming, Cuomo had too much against him. It started coming up with those nursing homes during the pandemic, lying, trying to flex, them press conferences. He was just doing too much. And then him and his brother was on CNN. See, the Republicans be looking, hey, they say he getting too much shine. We got to shut him down.
Well, can I just say this?
And that's what happened.
Can I say this? I honestly think that. I'm just gonna say this, but I think that if Donald Trump could have ran and won, then Andrew Cuomo could run for president too. Because I think by 2024, this all be all belong over.
Nobody want Cuomo for president.
Well, he can still run though.
Cuomo, they say Cuomo right when it's independent. Nobody want him anymore like that. I think there's some people that sympathize.
I think you're right. There's a lot of people that do sympathize with him, but I think that the further along we get away from this Cuomo scandal with him, I think more people will kind of like look at who I want to say. Look at Bill. All right, I'm gonna use Bill Clinton for an example. Okay. Now, Bill Clinton was already president when that whole Monica Lewinsky shit came out. Now, we already knew Bill Clinton was a mess before he became president, because but those of us who didn't know Bill Clinton, we didn't know. You know what I mean? Because the public really didn't know him before that. But once we got to know him after that whole Monica Lewinsky scandal came out, we all knew what kind of person he was. But he still, when he left the White House in 2001, he still left with a very high approval rating, to the point that people were like, y'all remember? Do y'all remember when people were? That was the last time this country was in a surplus. Was when Bill Clinton left, and that was 20 years ago. Yeah. That was the last time a president left this country in a surplus. But y'all remember when, at the time when Bill Clinton had left office, everybody was calling him the first black president because he was so popular with a lot of people, whatever the case may be. And I think that after a while, people are really and genuinely going to, and it's not saying that they should, but I think that as time goes on, a lot of people, like you said, who sympathize with Cuomo are going to put this whole scandal behind them and say, well, look at Donald Trump. He became president, and those allegations were coming out before he even won.
But this is the thing, though. I feel like Democrats always bend the knee when it comes to things
They
like
do.
this.
They do.
And Republicans, they fight to the fucking death. They don't give a damn how much video proof you got, how much evidence you got. They'll say it never happened, and they'll keep saying it never happened. With Democrats, everybody, you need to just go ahead and just leave. You just need to do what you got to do. Remember, what's that? Frank from Minnesota. What's his name?
Al Franken.
Al Franken.
Yeah, Al Franken. And the situation for Al Franken,
it wasn't even as bad as they made it look. But then they made him step down.
But I think
they always bending the knee.
But I think that was in the midst of. It was a time.
Oh, because we got to get Trump on all these.
Well, they couldn't find. I think it was a situation with hypocrisy.
Yeah.
It was hypocrisy.
So if he really did do this,
I think they couldn't stand by him in that way because of the nature.
He was sacrificed.
Right, but also was the type of person Al Franken was. Like, he was a little bit more on the progressive liberal end. Like, something like, and he wasn't Andrew Cuomo. Because if he was Andrew Cuomo, he would have said, he bucked. Like, Andrew Cuomo fought it.
Yes,
even though he was so dirty and so guilty. Yeah. I feel like if Al Franken had that Cuomo energy, he probably it could have probably went different. And he just wasn't that. He just
no, he wasn't. But see, even though Andrew Cuomo has all of these allegations against him, and even though he's that is the type of energy the Democrats need. That's the type of energy a president on the Democratic ticket needs. That type of energy because Andrew Cuomo wasn't backing down from Trump. He wasn't backing down from all those Trump supporters or whatever the case may be. But we don't have anybody on the Democratic side that's just going to go at it. Like, Joe Biden ain't going at it because he wants to be peacemaker.
But you know what I think the issue, But you know what I think the issue is, and I think the reason why none of the Democrats are pissing me off now is because they're too busy trying to make the moral argument about this stuff.
Right.
And it's clear that this country has no morals.
It has no morals.
So you try to make this case about this is wrong, this is despicable. You know why they can't do that? Because y'all done had some despicable people. Both of you, both of these parties on both sides have had despicable people. So it's like when you be trying to shame. I'm like, this ain't it. And then also, too, my thing is, can we talk about the issues we care about jobs? When you start telling me who laid off people in a state or who didn't give people vaccination access in a state, then that's not be like, oh, you a bad leader. But you telling me about this person's 1985, whatever said this, then I don't care. Because all of y'all was doing that stuff. You know why? Because the reason why Hillary messed up with Donald Trump is because she talked all that trash about Donald Trump, right, 2006. 2016. But she was out here in pictures with him in the 90s. And that was after he put a hit out on those innocent men during Central Park. That was after his people were sued by the DOJ for discrimination and housing discrimination. And y'all was chilling with him and drinking with him and taking switch parties. Everybody was. Everybody like none of that. So it's like I was looking at her sometimes criticizing him. I was like, don't do that. And that's why I'll never forget, even though this is reckless and ruthless, when he brought all the women that accused Bill Cosby out to that debate, I said, well, that conversation is over.
But see, that's why, and you made...
conversation
and you're absolutely right about that whole situation with Hillary. But see, that's why I say what I say about Andrew Cuomo. I do believe that in 3 years from now, a lot of people will look at this scandal right now and be like, yeah, it happened. But like you just said, they all got dirt on them.
Right.
They all have it.
But my issue is that I'm in the mindset.
Like, okay.
I tell people though, I'm in the mindset where I'm tired of recycling the same as people. This is becoming, the aristocrats where they just sit up every time. We just keep moving the same people. There's nothing democratic about it.
Right.
That's why I think everybody was excited about Obama because he kind of was like emerging and no one had a tie to him. But some of these people, it's like the same people. Like so and so's cousin, like it's somebody in the Kennedy family, or they got the Clinton dynasty, and then you got. Now this other group like the Cuomo family, who his father was governor before him, his brothers on the news. Like it's so much ancestralness going on, and I think that now we're at a place.
What's the word you looking for?
We want new people, nepotism,
cronyism,
all of those things. They in bed with each other. I think you just got to get new people.
They are, and I agree with that.
I want new people. I just want some new people.
I agree with that, but until we find the new people, I think that I don't know. For some strange reason, and I don't know why, but I don't know why. I could be wrong. But I just feel like in 3 years, Andrew Cuomo is going to,
he's going to try.
I think he's going to I really do. Do. He may not win, but I think he's going to at least try.
Like we started Michael Bloomberg.
And I think he will have.
Bloomberg got that ass. Bloomberg got that ass dragged.
I forgot all about Bloomberg.
Exactly. That's right.
But I like what he did after he got his ass dragged. He gave all that money to help Biden. Well, I mean, that's a lot of money.
He didn't do as much as he said he did. He talked about all his people was going to get paid to go work on campaigns. He lied. Well, people in Philadelphia who worked for him offered the strength of that lie. And then that didn't happen. I said, you a clown.
He even had Judge Judy out here.
Yeah. A lot of people, like, he got the Mayor's Association groups. I mean, he tried to buy his way through. But I never forget when Elizabeth Warren got on him and ethered his ass at that debate. I said, well, that's it for you.
I think the Democratic debates was probably one of the best debates I've seen in a long time. Like, the 2020 debates, because they were really going at it.
They were fun.
They were.
I mean, I don't know what Cory Booker thought he was doing.
I don't know. Child, that woman. I don't know what he thought she was doing.
And where is he now? They don't never talk about Cory Booker. I don't know.
He's with Rosario.
No, he's not. She dumped him.
Both of them. Did she?
She dumped him?
Yeah, she took her check and left. You kidding me? She not with him. They not together.
Oh.
That was a front anyway. Did she really think she was going to be first lady?
Why when she came out, and I'm like, how you coming out?
Come out of what?
She came out as bisexual, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the midst of them dating.
She was trying to help Cory.
In the midst of them dating. Oh, wow. She was. Come on.
All right, stop.
He's a vegan. He's a lot of things.
We don't need to get Ernest in trouble.
That's right. He follows me, and she follows me on Twitter.
But no, like Kevin said, did she really think he was going to be president? Come on.
Well, hold on. What was weird to me was that the $1 million question for me with her was that she was a big Bernie Sanders supporter in 2016.
Yes, she was.
Booker is so far from Bernie Sanders that I don't understand how you switch your whole...
Kevin said, like he said, she got that check and bounced.
You know what's funny? I saw them.
And I agree.
No, that was 2016. He was with a model. You know what Okay, so this is funny. One of my mom and I was talking about some stuff, and she asked me, and this is hilarious. Mm-hmm. She said to me, what happened to Tyler Perry's baby?
It's still,
you know what, Ernest? I didn't even know there was a baby until recently. And I was just like,
yeah, what happened to the baby? Well, I've been on about the baby. Y'all remember about the one man who came in the studio bad? It came in late that came in and kept escorting him out security.
Where? Was that? Tyler Perry's studio?
It was like a madman.
Well, Kevin already knows a story about when we were at a party together at Tyler Perry's party. He already knows my story with that.
You had a story?
Yeah, but it wasn't me personally. It's what I saw.
Oh, you saw something? Okay.
It was what I was seeing.
Not involved in Lance Gross, right?
No.
Okay, good.
Oh, I would join that.
Okay.
No, but it's not what I saw, it's what I was seeing.
I'm not fucking with Mikhail. We're not doing that.
Allegedly what I was
Tyler, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I don't need nobody slashing my face. So.
Oh. He don't like me, so I don't get any invitations.
Tyler don't like you?
No, he does not like me.
Tyler don't like you? Why?
I wrote about him when I was in college, and
no, but Tyler, no. Let's be for real about Tyler Perry. I love his work, but he rehashes the same shit.
Well, we know that.
The shows are not as interesting
he recycles
as they were.
He recycles.
We know that.
All of his stories.
So I love Tyler Perry's work, but
writers, no directors.
And he actually won.
He thinks it's a good thing that he does everything by himself.
And that is the worst thing.
That humanitarian Oscar that he received is the only Oscar he's ever going to receive.
And yes, that's
he didn't even receive it for acting or his acting or his work. He received it for his humanitarian work.
And he didn't even acknowledge his child.
I didn't know that.
Oh, when he won that Oscar?
Mm-hmm.
That was this year, right? When he received
It's not going to do no time. Listen.
Well, I mean, you brought him up, didn't you?
No.
Who brought him up?
Tyler.
I'm on Ernest.
Wrong guy. Wrong person. You know, listen, there's other alternatives. We have other alternatives now. I'm so happy that we do.
And you know what? It's so crazy because Tyler Perry really had the potential of being something really, I mean, he is really big, but I think he had the potential, because he has all of the resources, to be another Steven Spielberg.
He could have took a master class.
Right. But to just be recycling all these stupid shows and concepts and... What's that movie with that lady that they filmed in like a day or two.
A Fall from Grace?
A Fall from Grace.
Yeah, when the guy was in the band, was like, "Bitch, where's my cigarette?"
Yeah.
That movie was so like poorly made.
And Felicia Rashad was in it. That was sad.
It was and Cicely Tyson.
Oh,
they are her in it too. Why would you put her?
I think she was doing that because
Cicely Tyson was old, and they probably
what's
said,
that guy? Something Flowers is an old filmmaker who used to make camp films back in the day. Ron Waters, I think his name was. He made these crazy camp films, and some big name Hollywood stars are playing it because they like the fun. I think that Tyler Perry makes camp. Like he makes campy films, and the actors in it just want to be a part of that experience because he revitalizes those old actors.
I think his movies used to be so good.
He only had one good movie, and that was The Family That Prays. The rest
No.
of the movies, maybe the first Medea is tolerable.
But that last Medea one was horrible.
Which one?
I
can't even keep up. Did he retire the character? Now he's still trying to do it. He can't put that wig down to save him. All this money, all this success, and he still cannot let go of that. Like he did. You know, it's like those movies age badly. They age badly. You can't watch that stuff now, and you cannot watch those movies now and not cringe at some of them. Like I said, The Family That Prays worked. Because you had Kathy Bates, you had Alfred Woodard, Sanaa Lathan, and you know what it is? That script was so crappy, but they made the best. They made the best of that because it was a horrible script, but they made something crappy good because they were good actors. And so maybe what it is that Tyler Perry just needs to, because you know, Spike Lee sometimes his scripts are a little spotty, but what he does well is he always casted good actors. He always had Denzel or somebody like that in his films. But Tyler always did not have the best actors in his films, or he was always giving all these musicians a shot. And I love me some Janet, Lord knows I do. But Janet, I love Janet. But I thought that sometimes he played Janet up a little bit in some of the films. Because For Color Girls could have been a great movie if, and there were some good actors, but they were just misused. I was very, there were
a lot of people who did not like For Color Girls.
I was one of them.
Yeah, a lot of people.
It was weak. Weak.
I thought that it was a good. I thought that it was a good concept.
That material
but, I kind of agree because I think in the beginning I liked the movie, but as I've gotten older and as the years pass, you look at it and you're like, this could have been so much better than what it was.
Yeah, it was just, it was cheaply done.
It was cheaply done. At the time, I thought it was good.
It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but as you, like you said, for me, as you get older, you look at certain things and you're like, wow, this wasn't as good as it could have been. Like I feel like one of his good movies was what is it? Why Did I Get Married? Was that Why Did I Get Married?
I saw The Family That Prays. Oh, Why Did I Get Married was with Jill Scott.
Yeah, I thought that first one was really
good. The first one was alright.
Yeah, the second one, the second one was okay.
Come on, with Malik Yoba and then we find out about
Oh God, I see him on Instagram. He follows all.
Well, I
didn't know that though.
He's been accused.
Yeah, but I didn't know that, and then then I go on his Instagram and he follows a lot of them from Philly too. He be in the likes and everything. Yeah, I didn't know.
He's weird. He's a creep.
What's the name too? Eddie from Family Matters.
So they said that wasn't true.
No. I'm not talking about the Sydney Star situation.
Oh.
No. Him and Malik are hand in hand with that.
Stupid.
Yeah. What? Yeah, that Sydney Star situation, I don't believe that either.
I don't know.
But I'm talking about before Sydney Star.
No.
Yeah.
I wish that it just would be we as a society would get some, and I guess I'm at the Shade Room.
Right.
They put me so much in the Shade Room.
Right.
But I still don't like it. Because I just feel like the Shade Room, it's just like, it's one of those, I'm going to post something messy and I'm going to say thoughts. And then they're going to do and then the thoughts be, you want people to say a bunch of trash.
About the gays.
And they do that all the time. I'm just like, do y'all get tired of that? And then they amplify Boosie. They're the reason why people like Boosie continue to do what he do. Because he knows Shade Room going to do it. It gets very instigator-ish. And it's just too much. And then they put
Is he making any money from this, or he just getting notoriety from it?
He just wants notoriety. He wants relevance. Like, he wants relevance. Like, Boosie.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
He wants relevance. He's connected right now to coming after Lil Nas X, dying before, that's what people talk about. This is Lil Nas X. This ain't who he is. You heard, what's her name?
Big Frida.
Say that. I said Frida.
Yes.
But you ain't was dying before. Why did you say say that. Why did you? I remember that. Why did you have to get in this conversation?
Let me tell
you didn't have to say anything.
Last night I posted something about Little Boosie, and there were so many women in my comments talking about, but he's not homophobic. He's not homophobic. Did we not forget what he was saying about Dwayne Wade's child over 2 years ago?
But you're not in a position to speak on that. How are you able to speak on that?
This man is clearly. Y'all think I'm just talking about.
But you know he had the daughter with the birthday. He had the daughter with the birthday party.
I had to delete the post, but I had posted it. Shanice Tweet's daughter had posted something about him. This homophobic man. How ironic. She basically said how ironic it is that this homophobic man has a stud daughter. So I posted her comment, and then I posted my slide with the clip of his daughter at the birthday party.
Give her $50,000.
Yeah, and she's just as boyish as can be. And then I also posted the clip of that post when he hands her a couple boxes of cologne, and he said, "Yeah, now you can stop wearing mine." I said, "Yeah, see, that ain't perfume he's giving her. That's actually cologne." Okay, now what woman wears cologne? And then I posted one of my famous faces.
Yeah.
Like, come on, and then there were so many women in the comments. Oh, but Boosie isn't homophobic. Are y'all crazy? Did y'all not see what he was doing with Dwayne Wade?
This happened like this weekend.
Yeah. So Boosie's daughter just turned 20.
Yes.
So they had a big party for her, and Boosie, they were recording at the party, and he had gifted her all these sneakers and cologne.
$50,000 in cash.
But she's such a...
I didn't know he had that much.
She's a very pretty girl. His daughter's a very pretty girl. But she's a stud.
She's very tomboy.
She's hard.
Yeah.
She's very hard, and you can tell.
Yeah, she's I just think that, again, I think it was more...
She's her father's son.
I think that the fact that... I think it's a male thing for him.
Yeah, it is.
They don't care about the girls.
They
never care about the girls. It's just the misogyny of it all.
Yeah.
They don't care. As long as it's dealing with men, they have a perception.
Right. But this is the same Boosie who got out of jail a few years ago and talked about his experience of watching two men have sex in the prison shower.
Yes, I remember watching that video.
Yes. So it's like, I'm trying to figure out why these women constantly defend him and his homophobia by trying to tell me, oh, he's not homophobic.
Well, because they have the same views about their kids.
That's right. They don't want to admit it.
They have the same views about their kids as somebody else's kids, and so they don't want to have it. Everybody wants to be homophobic without being called homophobic. They don't like the word.
That's right.
And they always say this thing about, and see, this is a dumb shit that people do, which pisses me off. They'll get on there and say, with dictionary terms, homophobia means to have a phobia. I don't fear gay people. I'm sorry, homophobia is a fear of gay people. It's also an aversion to gay people. An aversion is an instant disgust and reaction that is very harmful. So, like, if you see, if I did not like this, like, for example, I don't like, cupcake champagne. You give that to me or whatever, I'm gonna have an adverse. I'm gonna have an adverse. Ugh, that's strong. That's how a lot of people are. Whenever they talk about something, to me, kissing, ew. That's an aversion. That's homophobia. Like, that's what it is. So we're not gonna play this game where you gonna do one thing and do another. You either gonna accept it for what it is and embrace it, or be ashamed of it.
Right.
They don't like to be told that. They don't like the label. They're like, oh, you say homophobia? They put their hands up. Oh my God, homophobic. That's not who I am. They don't like that. No, then you gotta own it then.
Yeah, because then you have to own it. Like you said, you have to own it.
They have to own it.
Like, they don't want to own it.
No.
But then they come on your page and tell you, oh, he's not homophobic. After we watched him just totally disrespect Lil Nas X going on half a year. And then, like you said, Dwayne Wade's child, come on. Like, it started out with her.
Yeah, it did. With her.
To the point that Mike Tyson had to come out and say something to Boosie like, who do you think you are to call out his parenting?
Cutting off testicles.
Yeah, which was a lie. And people were running with the lie. Oh, he wants to, and he never even said that the child wanted to change her she just wanted to be called a she. Yes, like, come on. And people were running with that.
But my issue is, why are you worried about someone else's child? In this city, like Philadelphia, with 500 homicides, do you know where your kids at?
Right.
Do you know where your children are at? Do you know how your kids are doing? Have you checked your kids' GPA?
Right.
Have you made sure your child? Yeah. Have you made sure your child is on the right track? Are they reading at the reading level they're supposed to be reading at? Before you worry about what someone else is doing with their child, living their best life. I bet you Zaya is healthy, happy, supported. Is your child? Like, those are the questions to understand, because I will tell you, I was fortunate to have a great mother and family and stepdad and people who made sure I was good. And look what I did. You worried about how I'm going to turn out. I turned out pretty well, thank you. How did your child turn out? How are your children turning out? Focus on your child.
That's right.
You know, because that's what really, I hear people in the barbershop and they be talking about this. I said, but what you just said, you have to bail your child out and he's 15.
That's right.
Focus on your child.
That's
Maybe if you was paying attention to your child and not worry about someone else's child, your child be somewhere else. Because you worry about how little Nick Lives X doing. He getting Grammy nominations, baby. What is your child doing?
And some of these parents who are parents to a gay child ain't never have to been to a courthouse or a jailhouse.
Never.
Okay?
Never.
So never. Worried about how they're parenting their kids?
Never.
Yeah, okay.
Never.
Yeah, okay.
But you know, that's the issue though. I think that sometimes people look at other people's kids and distract them from what they're not doing.
What they're not doing with theirs.
People like that. Like watching a reality TV show, it's an escape. Look at that child in drag. My child will never. Well, no, your child will do shoplifting.
And robbing.
That's right. They're doing that, but you're worried about
while you laying across the bed, rubbing your feet together, watching Real Housewives of Atlanta.
That's right.
Or Potomac.
And someone talking about this gay culture too much.
Right.
But you saying yes and snapping and doing everything else. And somehow you get your life done.
Or you got a good gay girlfriend or gay guy as a friend who's boosting and you buying all the stolen goods off of him.
Facts.
You okay?
Or maybe one of them is messing with your trade that you is talking about he a real man and he's somewhere. Let me stop. But to the point, it's a lot of that stuff. And we see, and these are not even jokes. This is real.
This is real.
This is so real.
It's so real.
So, you know.
Yep, it's so real. It's
sad. But I'm tired of these fucking parents, though.
Yeah.
Y'all need to, because we got to talk about what's going on in our city. And I know you got more intel than what we have. When is Danielle leaving? Her, Kim, and Larry Krasner too. Because you know what? I've been calling out the mayor and Danielle Outlaw for a long time.
Listen, I have been.
Because the district attorney here in Philadelphia, he's part of the reason why a lot of these people are getting on the hook when they get arrested.
When Danielle's on TV, she's not rude at all.
No, she's not this. She's the sweetest person. She's well bred on how to answer a question.
I'm gonna say this. I was at a cookout during Juneteenth. And I was with some people I knew very well. And it was a cookout, and they just invited her and didn't tell nobody. When I tell you when she came in, the whole vibe. The whole vibe went off. Like, I was there eating, drinking. Let me tell you something. I saw her. She knew because I had called for her resignation for the second time. And she saw me and she was all friendly. She does all that and she tries to be. I'm like, listen, you a problem.
You're a problem.
You ain't tear gassing the girls. I cannot. And the gag is that you got all this energy for innocent protesters, but you ain't doing it to y'all know where the shooters are. You know where the areas are. You don't come with that smoke or that tear gas for those people
because they don't want to be looked at as. And we talked about this the other day.
Like if you had all the resources they spend to come out for a protest in West Philly, they have never come in areas where they know where the shooters are.
Because they don't want to be looked at as profiling. They don't want to look at profiling certain areas and certain.
But no. But they're not. But see, they're not about it. And I think part of it is that's what they use to make them relevant. See, I have this is my conspiracy theory, and I'm not into conspiracy theory, but I have a couple. My opinion is that they're going to always attack the critics of their institution more than they're going to critique the people that perpetuate it. So if you got crime in the city, that's what keeps them relevant. Police officers, I believe, can solve those crimes. They can solve those, but that's what they need. They need to have those higher numbers to justify the money because the conversation right now is defund the police or reduce the budget. So logically, if you're telling police officers to defund their budget or keep it, don't give it an increase, there has to be a rationale for why they need an increase.
But they're not doing anything.
But the reality is that common sense, because we always, as a society, not us, but as a society, we keep thinking policing in this way is the answer. So our head is always like, the moment we hear DC things, we like, the police. And so then the logic is, police say, well, we don't got enough resources. And then we are always saying, give them more resources. But then what we don't realize is, they get more resources every year, but the crime ain't going down.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
But they have to keep. We don't remember self-perpetuating problems.
I remember when Nutter was like, "Bitch, I want the murder rate to be at 300. We're gonna keep it down to 300."
Yeah.
And one time it went over, and then he worked overtime to get it back under.
Yeah.
If he had to do curfew, damn it, he did curfew. If he had to stop and frisk, he had to stop and frisk. Now all of a sudden,
that's what we talked about the other day.
Yeah,
that's where because I'm borderline with that because I don't want you seeing me walking down the street and then call yourself stopping and frisking me.
Because they're gonna do more than stopping and frisking.
Yeah, they're gonna do more than that.
Yeah.
And see, that's the part that I'm against stopping and that's the part that I'm against the stopping and frisking. But there has to be something that you can do that will, like for instance, now they're not even stopping people. Like minor, stuff like that. Because it's like, now these young guys are in these cars, they're driving around with these guns and stuff, and now they know that they're not going to be stopped.
But hold on. The thing is, though, that the stop and frisk was never effective.
No, it wasn't.
It was never effective. So, like, when they had, that's why people don't want it. Like, if stop and frisk was really stopping and frisking these guns, people would be doing a lot. But the truth of the matter is that the issue is that they know.
They're only going to
they know that exactly. They know who the shooters are.
Yes.
They know. Yes. The shooters are not new.
You see how Chicago worked?
They know.
To get Jussie Smollett saying
they know. They know.
They point all the cameras.
They have the cameras. They know, y'all. They know who the shooters are. It's to the point where they're having, in the past they used to do these things called these programs, the intervention programs, where they would bring the people in and shooters and try to work with them and get an amnesty. Hand over your guns. And they would try to do these community ceasefires. I keep telling people there's no such thing as a community ceasefire without a truce amongst the gangs. Mm-hmm. You have to actually go to the people doing the crimes and doing the compromise, like they did with the Crips and Bloods back in the day. Mm-hmm. Right now, they're having all these community marches, and they're telling the grandmas and stuff, like these gun buybacks, which I wrote about last week. I said the gun buyback program is stupid. Yes, these are muskets and rifles. These are old Davy Crockett ass weapons. Like these are not the kind of guns. And the thing is, the guns that's really out in the streets are ghost guns. Mm-hmm. I keep telling people about ghost guns. I don't think there's enough conversation in the media about ghost guns.
I think they're trying to make it illegal, the ghost guns, but
it should have been.
They're trying to make them illegal, but the problem is that as long as they sell them kits, right? Then the kits, they can say, okay, the gun is 80% done, which is not counted as a gun. It doesn't have a serial number. You can add pieces together, combine the gun, and then you can do what you do. And then these people who's buying these ghost gun kits, they sell them on the internet. They sell them on the they're selling them on social media and stuff. And then people are getting those guns.
So people spent their pandemic money on ghost guns.
That's right. That's right.
A lot of them did. Because it's no way that all of these people are walking around with guns.
No, these are ghost guns.
It's just like that college kid that just got killed at Temple. That was a 17-year-old who killed him.
Yeah, how
the hell did you get a gun?
It's a ghost gun.
Yeah, it's a ghost gun.
It ain't no gun in his grandma's house with a wood handle or whatever barrel. These are not these old school. When I look at these gun buyback programs, you walk in, that shit is embarrassing.
Yes, it is.
You got a long
yes, it is.
rifle. I say, this is not doing drive-bys with
and this stuff is not even being used to kill these people. It's being killed in film.
No, they're broken guns. They're not even guns, and they get it, and they out here giving them ShopRite $100 gift cards.
Right.
I said, this.
How about that?
Well, you know what? I've never been a fan of guns, but I think I might want one.
I had a friend that told me the other day, sadly.
I just want to be,
I think it's too many people who have guns.
But it's too much going on. Like, I could be outside waiting to go to work. Sometimes cars creep down. Sometimes they slow down. Or it's just too much going on. I'll be like, damn. I just wish I had something. Because anybody can be like, give me your money. Or they can just pull on.
Yeah, but if somebody come up behind you and say, give me your money, when are you going to have time to put out the guns?
I don't want them to pull.
Right.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
But that guy on the internet, stop listening to everybody tell y'all. If you're not trained, like in karate and shit,
they're making it a parody. Everybody's making it a parody now.
So I'm just taking elbow.
Yeah, like everybody's not doing
stop.
But I'm just saying, I'm just thinking to myself, like, if you're walking down the street and somebody, like I was,
somebody ran up behind me and robbed me. This is why I don't know how to drive.
When are we gonna have time to? I don't know how to drive.
I don't feel bad about it.
I Uber. I just.
What does that have to do?
Barry drive?
Barry does. He has a car, but I don't drive.
But
no, he's not. He likes to drive. He has a car.
See,
I don't know how to drive.
But what if y'all want to go on a long road trip?
We do. We go out.
But why didn't you like to drive? Why did you say that?
I just don't because I always think about that.
Like something happened.
Something coming up. Because you know me, like, I can get a little, I don't want to say ditzy, but sometimes I can get a little too just in my phone, in my zone. Mm-hmm. Like, he's very focused. Like, he's one of those.
Well, you're supposed to be
walking. I know. Well, no. When he's going
you don't want to hit anybody.
When he's going to his car. Like, so that, me, I'm type. I'll be on the phone looking somewhere and then somebody can come up. Like, I can't. No, you can't. Versus with Uber, it's just like, I see that car right there. I'm going straight to it, right? Yeah. I can't miss my ride. And when I'm in the backseat, I'm chilling.
Well, see, I hate to see people do what you just explained. Like, that happened to me today. Yeah. I was walking, and this is me and the guy, and we're coming just like this. And he's swerving over to where I'm walking. His head is in his phone, and he got his iPods, his AirPods. Yeah. That is so dangerous, because I could have been like this the whole time with a gun while he's like this typing. I know. The whole time. And I'm like so I don't pull my phone out when I'm walking down the street.
No.
Because people can rob you.
No. I mean, most of the time, I'm never, like, walking in any streets, honestly. The only time I walk down the streets is if I'm on, like, Chestnut, like a main, street. Right. But, like, normally when I'm at
especially
home,
if you do that at night, too. Like, that's so dangerous when I see people walking like that at night. Yeah. Like, I don't put earphones in at night if I'm down the street, because anybody can...
No, I don't play with earphones.
I think it's so
I don't play with
earphones, but not too loud.
Yeah, I think that's why I never... If you ever notice, I never bought those Beats, because I thought they were just dangerous to have earphones that was just extremely loud like that, and you can't hear nothing. Like, come on.
They used to be real loud.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of new audio technology, but come on.
Like, come on. Why would somebody need that loud like in somebody's studio?
I mean...
Especially when you're walking down the street and you can't hear nothing. That's dangerous.
I'm about to get hit by a car like maybe 15 years ago like that.
You almost got hit by a car like that?
I looked up and bitch, the car was right there.
And some people don't look when they're crossing the street. Like, some people I noticed too, when people are walking to a corner, a lot of people don't even stop at the corner to look both ways. They just keep walking in the street. And they keep walking the street.
You should know not to just be crossing streets.
That's why I'm hearing more and more of adults getting hit by cars and not children. Because adults are more and more stupid.
You're hitting the 63-year-old woman, or man, around my old
You know when you're hitting anybody. You know when you hit a cat.
Yeah.
I hit a cat one time. And baby, let me tell you something. When I hit that cat, yeah, when I hit a cat, because it darted in the street.
No, not you attacking the pussy.
When I hit, and it was a black cat too. When I hit that cat, and I looked through my mirror, and you had to see how that cat was the body was just jumping in the street, because it had just darted out in front of my car, and the wheel hit it. It went under the wheel.
This is traumatic.
Yeah, well, what was I supposed to do?
Oh.
You shouldn't be outside. I can't do nothing if you dart in front of my car.
I didn't hit a black cat, you're going to get bad luck.
I know you didn't think I was going to pick it up and take it to the vet. I don't even touch cats. You thought I was going to put it
clearly, I know you don't like cats, but you don't got to be out here hurting it.
It ran in front of my car. My car belongs on the street. Cats belong in the house.
Sure do.
Yes. Okay.
Did I ain't tell you. How about the cat outside my apartment door? Mind you.
That's just like that time when your cat got hit when it was under Donnie's head.
Not in here.
No, not in here.
Okay.
But that time when that cat got, the cat was sleeping under the wheel of the wheel well. And when Donnie got in the car, he didn't know the cat was sitting on top of his wheel. Mm-hmm. So when he went to pull off, the cat fell off the wheel and he ran over the cat. Because the cat was sitting, he didn't know. None of us knew. Until we heard the rah! Like, what was that?
I remember that.
Because it's supposed to be in the house. Mm-hmm. But somebody let him out. The Nina started that street cat. Oh my God.
That was a street cat. Them cats was all street.
But what was the cat doing out?
I don't know. First of all, how did it get in here? First of all, because I ordered Uber, which I'm about to do because I got to get something to eat.
Oh, Uber Eats or?
Yes, Uber Eats.
What's your ordering?
I don't know. Probably Popeye. So
there's so many better options in this area. You know where you live.
Probably.
You can get Pattaya. You can do Thai food. That's one of my favorites. You get you some Indian from New Delhi. You have better options over here.
I don't like all the different types of options. They're not all that good. Like, they're good, but not that good. Okay. Popeye's hit the spot.
You see my Instagram, good food.
You go out. You don't order from this area like that.
I support my local.
And eat it.
I support my local.
Don't do it, Ernest. Because if you're there, I would be there too.
I mean, Pattaya. No, I would say Pattaya. I do like Pattaya.
Where's that at?
Where is that?
It's on 40th and Locust. Now, it used to be on 40th and Chestnut, right next to New Delhi on 40th and Chestnut, but it's now on like 40th.
Is that an Indian spot?
No, Pattaya is a Thai with Thai.
Oh, shit.
Thai is good.
You know how much chicken costs right now?
Are you seeing that reflecting this Popeye's order?
Right.
Yes. Oh, yeah. When there's inflation, oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, first of all, food is high now because the government has given all these people all this free money.
Oh,
so they're looking at it like, well, you got all this free money, then we're going to knock the prices out.
Money bags, Mikhail.
Yes. That's right. These people need to stop accepting all this free money from the government.
Oh, my God.
Shit. I'm tired of those damn
No, we're entitled to that money.
And I got to get up and go to work every day.
No, we're entitled to that money because these billionaires are getting these tax breaks. That's really fucking us up. Okay, so don't even try to
Judge
act
Judy done quote a couple
listen,
people on her new show with the PP loans.
Oh,
so where the fuck you get this money from?
Oh, really? who works for you?
I can't even watch that because I'm so mad they took Bird off.
I know, but you know
they
what?
took Bird, and I'm devastated.
One episode, my granddaughter was like, I didn't agree with your ruling. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't agree with it. And they went back and forth. And I wasn't mad. Now, if they had that every time.
Where is this?
On Amazon Prime.
So her granddaughter is like.
And the show is called, is the show called
Judy Justice.
Judy? Watching it
tonight.
Watching
is she
tonight.
like the stenographer?
No. She's the law clerk.
Oh.
And like she sits there like. If she
I have to watch
she did what Bird did. Like, girl, Google how much this car costs. Like
so
she
she
sits
does
there
it.
and does that.
Oh,
yeah.
I need to.
Oh yeah.
So it's called Judy
Justice. It's not bad.
Okay.
But I was
what does that
shocked.
hair look like? Cause see, I miss the old.
No, it's just pulled back. It's just pulled back in the ponytail.
See, I miss the old Judy hair.
But the show is Judge Judy. It's just a different name.
True. Well, true.
I mean, everybody. I mean, if she hired me, I could walk papers back.
Listen,
Bird was getting $4,000 a show to pass paper back and forth.
No, he was getting paid more than $4,000.
$1 million a year.
Yeah.
Judge Judy did 200-something episodes. So
okay.
That's like $4,000.
Well, a union episode. Okay.
To toss paper. Girl, I would do that.
I would toss more than paper for $4,000 an episode.
He wasn't that.
This is a matter of.
I'm talking fucking bottle.
Judges, everything.
I was impressed.
The case that was sworn
I'm
in.
impressed.
That's all he do.
I'm impressed.
I want to know how Douglas McIntosh get paid.
Bitch, I want to be with Douglas McIntosh.
I bet you do.
Who is Douglas McIntosh?
From the People's Court.
Oh.
He's the best looking woman too.
In daytime TV. Period.
I didn't even see. I too busy watching my fellow.
And he always looks.
I watch my fellow Pill Alum, and that's all I watch.
Who you watch?
Not Dr. Oz.
Please, cause
Maury.
that mess.
Maury.
Dr. Oz.
Maury. He's 85 years old.
Yes, I met him at Penn. He's nice. I like him. He's
still married.
Yeah.
They still.
They ain't going nowhere. They've been married for like 30-something years.
Yeah, he's so nice. I liked it. I mean, I like that. Did you ever watch that special episode with Lil Nas X?
I didn't watch it.
I did. I liked it.
That was cute.
The ending took me for a loop. I was not ready for the ending.
You know, Maury is in the place now that he
knows
in his golden years of his life.
He knows.
And he knows that he is still, he knows what he gives.
Yeah.
The show gives.
I'm happy that he understands what it is.
Because you ever see him getting his Twitter will jump into certain things and say, "Oh, if you want to know something, just go on my show."
Right, and he trolls.
He's a troll. Yes, he
trolls.
Mm-hmm.
That's
gonna be a sad thing in TV when he goes.
Yeah, when he goes. I am gonna feel that way. Like Ellen's show going away. I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, that's because we older now. Like,
but Maury was around when we were
so
kids.
much money.
Maury is a show when we were kids.
No, Jerry Springer.
Yeah, that's another classic. I went to Jerry Springer.
I love Jerry Springer.
I was in the audience.
I know some girls that wish
too. They had me on TV. And I didn't get any laughs though when I asked my question, but that's all right.
I know some girls.
Did they show you a question?
Mm-hmm. I didn't see the episode, but people were hitting me up like, "Oh my God, we just saw you in Jerry."
I know some girls who went on there to make some revelations back in the day.
Yeah, the episode
they trans or
there was some That was a thing where they were coming
I had a good time at Jerry Springer. I'm just going to tell you. They were fighting and everything. Okay? And I had a real good time.
Did you get any beads?
Yeah, we did. We got out. Damn, where the fuck are my Jerry beads? I don't even know where they at.
Yeah. You showed your Jerry beads.
That's a good question. Where are my beads? But we had a good time. All right, so my friend has a friend who worked for like NBC. Mm-hmm. And what they would do is They would basically order like a bus. They would charter a bus, and then they would just give people.
They would go to Broad Army
just to get to come as audience members, and you go for free, whatever the case may be. So they would find different people. It's like, you want to go to Jerry Springer next week? Like, oh yeah. So just meet the bus here, and we went to Jerry Springer once. We went to Bill Cunningham, which was horrible. Oh my God, that was a horrible show. Oh, horrible. And I think we went to Steve Wilkos, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
but I had a good time. Yeah, I had a good time.
I feel like he is doing the work.
Yeah.
I feel like the way that I get uncomfortable watching that show. That shit is deep. I appreciate his show.
Yeah, we had a good time at Jerry Springer. We really did. I mean, that's right. You better fuck it up. Like, he gets into it. Just to see.
And I be clapping. I be like, that's right.
You don't even get no chair. Stand the fuck up.
I be feeling like, what? No, Steve Wilkos is the truth. And what's the other one? So did you? There's a lot of people from Philly that went to Wendy, but I hear Wendy it be hit or miss. I know some people that went to Wendy.
I've never been to a Wendy.
I know some people that went to Wendy.
Unfortunately, I never get a chance to
see Jerry Springer. When I went to Jerry Springer, I was in awe because it's like, oh my God, that's actually Jerry Springer. Like, this is who we watched growing up. And of course, he still looked the same, sounded the same, whatever the case may be. And it was fun. Like, it was a good atmosphere. Some of the people that went, they're probably saying fake. Not to me. I was having a good time. But they
Do you remember that Jerry Springer movie? I Live.
Yes,
I remember that movie. I Live.
Yes.
But you know what? I'm old enough to remember when Jerry Springer was a regular talk show. Before it was all of the I have a penis and I'm this and that. He was a regular talk show.
Well, they all were regular talk shows before they started.
Before he went trashy.
Well, that's what we needed. Trash.
Jerry.
We needed regular daytime TV.
I just remember when
Jerry Springer had the saxophone as his theme song. Like, I remember that. I'm that old. But then he changed. Like, and then it went from.
But it changed for the better for him.
It changed from that into reality TV. Like, reality TV is just an extended version of
Jerry Springer.
these talk shows and all that.
Yeah.